Welcome to the Pregame Skate. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch channels from the bubble here in Riga, Latvia. It is so great to see all of you. My name is IIHF Forfar, and I'll be hosting our brand new live show every single day throughout the tournament. Our show is going to be completely interactive, so please, right now, get in the chat, tell us where you're watching from, and who you think is going to take home the gold this year. Later in the show, I'll be able to read a couple of your comments, so this is your chance to cheer from home and get your name on the Pregame Skate. So today is day 1 of action, and we have 4 games ahead of us this afternoon and into the evening. The teams have been preparing for quite a while, as you know, and we can't wait to finally see them battle for gold over the next few weeks. But before we take a look ahead, let's take a look back at last year's tournament, well, 2019, and refresh your memory on what went down.
And here we go, the gold medal game at the World Champion. His centering pass from Mantha, knocked down by Ryla. Mantha stays on it, pokes it back for Theodore, winds his way in. Shea Theodore shoots, scores! Shea Theodore fires it home! Mikko Oyamaki drops it back for Mananen. Antila moves it and shoots, scores! And the hooking Antila moves in around Strome. Try to center it, spins and shoots, it goes off a leg and wide. Now Severson has lost his stick. Centering pass, Antila scores! Marco Antila again! And the Finns lead for the first time! Moves in, spins back in the corner, Pessinen. In, shoots, scores! Harry Pessinen! And the Finns lead 3-1!
Lightning bolt. He wins the loose puck.
He's bumped by Turris, time winding down. And a most unlikely team wins a most unlikely world champion. The Finns have won the world championship in Bratislava.
I don't know about you guys, but I still get chills from seeing that celebration. It was an incredible tournament, and we can't wait to see what's going to happen this year. The Finns are the defending champions at the IIHF World Championships, and I actually got a chance to sit down with some of the players who will be repping the Lion this year. So here's an interview with Oliver Kasky and Hari Satarai while we were all in quarantine before the tournament.
Well, I am honored to be joined by the defending champions. How does that sound? How does that make you guys feel to be, kind of royalty today?
Feels good. Feels good to be back in this tournament. A couple of years since the last one. Yeah, feels good.
Still counts. You're still the defending champs, even when that year didn't happen.
Exactly.
That's right. So does that make you feel a little bit extra pressure or more confident? Like, how does that help your, mental state coming into a tournament with the idea that you're defending that championship?
Well, I think every tournament is a new tournament, so the last year doesn't count. So we got to prepare ourselves to the new tournament, and I don't feel extra pressure.
That's good. Do you feel like other teams you have a bigger target on your back, maybe like we got to beat them? They're coming in with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, or it's all equal playing field and everyone just wants to beat everybody?
I think it's equal, but at the same time, I feel like maybe last tournament when we won, we kind of surprised some teams, and I think we don't have that advantage anymore.
And so what do you think the fan base will be like at home? Obviously they can't be here, which is unfortunate. You're only like a couple miles away, but unfortunately they can't be here in person. So what will they be doing? How will they be acting at home? And you guys have a pretty crazy fan base, right?
Well, yeah, I think the whole year has been pretty weird. So I think everybody is waiting for this tournament. So they're probably, obviously they're watching it on TV because they don't get to come here. I think everybody's excited, and we're excited too, and we can't get it going.
Notoriously the Finnish fans are like kind of just outgoing and spontaneous and fun. Have you been able to see anything, on social media leading up to it of fans giving you well wishes or putting face paint on, or what's the vibe like when you guys are logging onto your social medias to see people supporting you?
I mean, every time you get closer to the tournament, the news channels start to do more stuff about the tournament and about the team, and it always creates lots of discussion and good hype around the tournament. So I think that's something that happens every year at this time.
Awesome. And then finally, you can both, give me your input, but what do you see your role being on the team this year? Obviously, you haven't been able to play all together all year, but you're coming in and you're able to perform. So what are you bringing as a player? What's your role and what are you looking forward to?
Well, as a goalie, of course, I want to play every game, but we have three great goalies here, so I guess whoever feels the best plays. So, but it's an honor to be here, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to be a defenseman who plays good both sides. Good defensively, but then offensively use my strengths there, and especially in power play, use my shot. So that's one big thing.
Awesome. Well, we'll have our eyes on you for sure. Not just because you're the defending champs, but because you're a great team to have social media fun with. And we've been seeing a lot of really cool posts from inside the bubble and at home. So keep that up, and we'll make sure to follow you guys throughout the tournament and catch up with you a little bit later and see how you're doing. Okay.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for joining.
So that was our Finnish interview. Obviously, we have a lot of Finnish fans right now in the chat. I can see all the flags flying. We are excited that you got to see your players, got to hear from them. And just because you're watching from home, that doesn't mean that you also can't be joining in on the competition. And that's why we've introduced some really amazing fantasy hockey games with incredible prizes. So let's take a look at the IIHF Fantasy promo.
Ladies and gentlemen, the IIHF is happy to present IIHF Fantasy Hockey. Choose your players. Build your team. Play the IIHF Fantasy Hockey game and win up to 5,000 Swiss francs in cash prizes, team jerseys, and IIHF apparel. Register to play on fantasy.iihf.com and start building your team. Set your fantasy hockey lineup every day of the IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship and show the ice hockey world you know how to pick a winner. Visit IIHF.com for more details. Register on fantasy.iihf.com and play IIHF Fantasy Hockey today. Follow the action of the IIHF Worlds at IIHF Hockey across all your social media accounts.
So now I'm happy to welcome Eki to the Pregame Skate, coming live from Finland today. Eki is a professional esports player who won the 2020 IIHF Esports Fan Championship last year. Eki, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Well, we just are having a Finland full show today. We didn't mean to lay it out this way, but it's exciting. So how is it, being on the other side of, as a fan this year? You're getting to engage with IIHF fans. What's your role as a hockey expert for us?
Yeah, so I'm giving you insight throughout the whole tournament on the fantasy app, see kind of which players are hot and maybe which players to look at in the fantasy app.
How did you become such a fantasy fan?
Well, I played hockey my whole childhood. My whole life has always revolved around hockey, and of course, watching hockey that much, I like to know which players are doing good and so on and so on. And of course, now my career is more on the virtualized, so I think this kind of combines the two.
I also used to play, but I don't think many people were putting me on their fantasy lineup, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
So this year at the World Championships, we have a bunch of new types of fantasy. So can you give us a run through of what fans can be playing starting today?
Yeah, so fans can start playing the fantasy hockey game today. First game start in about 40 minutes. So if you want to build your lineup for those games, I think Russia and Czech Republic are at least starting to play. So you need to have your lineup ready before that if you want your lineup to have Czech or Russian players. You can switch your lineup every day. You have to have 3 forwards, 2 defensemen, 1 goalie picked every day. There's different ways in which your team gets fantasy points. Every like I said before, every time a game starts, that game's players will be locked, so you can't pick those players anymore. And
you can't take them out of the lineup and switch them up.
No, you can't. No, not in between games.
And so that's the game picks version, and there's also daily fantasy. Can you tell us a little bit about that? So the daily fantasy is something you can find on fantasy.iihf.com, and so you can create a league, and that one maybe is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that one is also option for fans. So if you haven't already gone on fantasy.iihf.com, you can create a team, you can create a league, and you can actually compete against your friends and family. So that's one to keep an eye on. But Eki, I know you know all the nitty gritty of players. So who are some players that we should be watching or maybe adding to our lineup, in the first couple of days?
Well, I have a lot of guys written down here. I think Czech Republic has a really talented roster this year offensively. Guy like Jakub Rana, 36 points in 50 games in NHL this season, had a great end of the year. He's a guy I would really be looking to add to your fantasy teams. Lots of other guys in Czech Republic, Dominik Kubalik, and a guy like Jan Kovar plays in the Swiss league but led the league in both regular season playoffs in points. Then I have to throw some Finns in here. Petri Kontiola, I would look at. Even though a bit older guy, 36 years old, had a point per game this year in Liga, 55 points, and led the World Championships in 2013 in points. So he has shown at this level before that he can score goals. And another Finn, Anton Lundell, first round pick last year for the Florida Panthers, kind of hasn't proven himself on the big stage yet, so looking to see how he does. There's a couple ones, and the player I'm most excited for probably is Nico Hischier for Switzerland, captain for the New Jersey Devils. I think he has a talent to score a bunch of goals this tournament.
Awesome. We have honestly so many options in terms of offensive power here that you can put in your lineup, but I think goaltending is an underrated part of a fantasy hockey team. So if you're going to pick a couple goaltenders every day, someone we should keep our eyes on, who would that be?
Darcy Kemper for Canada. I actually have him in my net today. Being one of the best goalies in the NHL for the past couple of years. This year he had a bit of a off season, but I think he'll bounce back in the World Championships. Then Finland, not really sure yet which direction Finland will go in goalies, but they have 3 very quality goalies. I think Säteri and Jussi Olkinuora will split the load. Finland also always has a very solid goaltending, especially if Olkinuora plays in net for Finland. I would trust him in the KHL this season. In 30 games, he had .935 save percentage, so I feel like he's kind of being on fire lately. So those are a couple options I would look at.
Well, don't give us away all of your insight, because we want you to be successful too. And then finally, how can fans find your content throughout the tournament? Because you will be giving daily information, daily insight. So how can they find you and follow you?
Yeah, I will have daily updates about the fantasy game on my Twitter, pretty much every morning I will go over what roster I will pick each day and go over a couple options player-wise I'm looking at and giving you guys some tips overall which players are looking for or where to take, in my opinion.
Awesome. Well, we thank you so much for joining us live as well. I know it kind of throws off your daily schedule, but I'm sure you'll be watching the games in about 30 minutes anyway. So, Eki, we'll catch up with you, I'm sure, throughout the tournament. So thank you for joining, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Awesome. So while we're talking about interactive fan segments, we have a really cool new Instagram filter I want to show you. I'm not sure if it's going to come through on the broadcast well, but if you go to IIHF Instagram account, you'll see if you swipe through, we have a filter, that's me, on the filter. And what you can do is click on it and you'll be able to put any of the team's flags that are participating on your face. So we want to see you do this. We want to see you show your pride from home. We want to see where all of our fans are tuning in from. And speaking of that, I can see in the chat we have a worldwide audience today. Pavlina watching from Egypt. That is incredible. Welcome to the Pregame Skate. Lots of Swiss and Slovak fans. Like the whole time I just see these flags flying around. I'm still getting used to the different European flags. Sometimes they end up looking very similar to me, but I know the difference between those two. And of course, the hometown heroes, the fan is just Latvian fans everywhere. I've heard all about how intense and passionate you are, and I can see that today in the chat. So thank you so much for tuning in and being engaged, and keep commenting because we're going to do some questions maybe you can ask and we can have them on the show tomorrow or the next day. So all that said, I know the Czech fans are watching today are going to love this next interview. So I had a chance to sit down with David and Adam Musil, and the Musil brothers were quarantining at the same hotel. We all got on Zoom and we chatted. So here's that interview for you now.
Well, welcome, boys. I'm surprised that they don't have you in the same rooms. Is that just the COVID quarantine procedure, or would you actually be roommates during this?
I'm not sure. We actually asked Andre if we can be in the same room, but you know, rules are rules, and we have to be in our own rooms because of the COVID. So
maybe you want a little bit of a break from each other.
Yeah, I mean. I haven't seen my brother in a long time. You know, all year he was playing internet, so it would be nice to get some one-on-one time with him.
So I guess my first question for you is: it is pretty rare to have brothers or siblings, representing their country at the world stage. So how does that feel for the two of you to be there, even if you're in separate rooms, but to be on the ice together, wearing that same jersey? How does that feel for you?
I mean, it is for sure. For me, it's special playing in the Czech League against each other. It wasn't much fun, so it's a lot better being on the same side.
Yeah, same with me. It's special for me and especially for our family because they got us where we are right now. So it's nice to kind of reward them so they can cheer for the same team and cheer for the whole country. So yeah, it's for sure we're looking forward to the experience.
And speaking of your family, you have quite the father who's had a lengthy career in the NHL. So what was that like as kids growing up? I know you didn't get to see too much of the career, but what was it like having such a successful dad to look up to that's played at the highest level?
I mean, for me, it was awesome. Obviously, we knew what he achieved, but I think it was the same for my brother. It wasn't just a hockey player; it was more of the role model, the way he was at home, and even with all the success he had, I mean, still he was a great dad, and I mean, he helped us a lot throughout our hockey career, and just kind of being the role model in the life, kind of guiding us through it.
Yeah, like I agree with David. Obviously, I don't remember much from his playing career, but just growing up and him teaching us about life and hockey in general has been very beneficial for both of us and all our family. So, we're really happy that we can rely on our dad, and whenever we need him, he's there for us. So it's awesome.
Do you remember any like specific sayings or like lessons that he always like drilled into your heads? Like my parents, or always shoot the puck, or like play with your heart. Like, is there any little things that you're like, oh, I remember that, and I think of my dad every time?
For me, may sound cliche, but just give it all your best. Put 100%. That's what he cared about the most, and that's what he cares about the most right now too. So it's never been about scoring goals or getting points, but he wanted us to go out there, whether it was on the ice or off the ice, be a good person, and give it our all. So that's what I can say from that.
I mean, I agree, but one thing I remember, even though it's not really towards hockey, but he always comes up to me, at least. I mean, I believe even to Adam, but yeah, every time you go out there, you got to have fun and enjoy it, because that's kind of the most important thing. Because if you don't enjoy it, there's no point of playing. So that was kind of one big thing that he also drilled into me, because you got to work hard. I mean, you hear that from everyone, but I think having fun and enjoying it is a big part too.
Oh, that's really nice. It's a great lesson for everything, not even just sports. Whatever you do in your regular life, it's a nice way to have that good perspective. And then I guess for Adam, since I know you're younger, so you didn't get to see your dad play as much, but maybe from your older brother, what are some things that you've learned, or maybe you're looking forward to, sharing the same room or dressing room, I guess, sharing the same dressing room and being on the same ice surface together? Is there anything that, your older brothers helped you with? Sometimes older brothers can be a bit tough on you, but, what's he like as a brother?
Well, he's been a good leader for me. Obviously, he's achieved things in hockey and outside of hockey that I've always wanted to achieve. So he's been also a good role model for me, as well as my dad. So he's giving me the steps on how to do things and helping me along the way, and I'm really grateful for that.
Oh, that's sweet. Anything from older bro to younger bro? Any tips?
Nah, not really. I mean, kind of watching him growing up, there's not only things that he learns from me, but also me watching him is there's a lot of things that I see from him and kind of make me want to push myself better as well.
Awesome. Well, we're so looking forward to the family connection on the ice, and I'm sure you have a lot of support back home who'll be cheering both of you on, and for once in the same jersey, which is probably super easy for everybody. So we wish you the best of luck throughout the tournament, and we'll check back in with you and see how you're doing down the road.
Awesome. I loved hearing about the Musil family dynamic and how hockey has shaped their lives. But as I said, I'm new to Europe, so I have heard there's a rivalry between the Czechs and the Slovaks. So, of course, we had to sit down with both teams before they hit the ice today. So here's my chat with Marian Studenich and Petr Cehlarik.
Welcome to Riga, and welcome to the bubble. So this isn't your first opportunity representing your country at the international level, but it is a little bit different this time around without fans. So what's it going to be like to get out there and kind of have a quiet experience without your fan base?
Yes, studio. Let's go. Studio.
It says poor connection. I think you're good to go, though.
Do you need to start? He's like stuck right now. Okay.
Okay, you go ahead.
Well, I mean, obviously, this season overall has been pretty difficult to play without fans. From the beginning, we obviously had maybe a couple hundred fans over the last season, so it doesn't make a change right now for us. Come here for the tournament and play, but obviously there's going to be huge support from back home on the TVs and from our families back home. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited. My last tournament was like 5 years ago, so
yeah.
I'm really excited to be here right now.
How would you explain the Slovakian fans? Like, what are they like when they can be at the arena, and what are they like virtually?
I would say they're loud, obviously passionate. But if something goes wrong, they're gonna let you know. They're gonna let the referee know. They're gonna let everyone know, but it's always a lot of fun to play for them. And obviously, there's been Marianne's gonna know more about it. He played home 2 years ago at the World Championship. It must have been so much fun to play home, and I think he can tell you more about that.
So you'd say they're very spirited.
Yeah, I would say so. Really passionate spirit. All in for the game, you know. You gotta. So, yeah, we are looking for results this year to make them happy as well.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. My internet connection just
Sure.
me out, so.
Well, we were just talking about the Slovakian fans, and I wanted to get your input on what they're like, you know, playing in front of, because you've had that experience, and you know, obviously they won't be able to be here this time around, but what is the Slovakian fan like?
Like I had an experience back like last World Champs in Košice, so I mean like that was probably my like I just like enjoyed it, you know, like they're just like they're living it with us. They're like our sixth player on the ice, you know, and they're like really passionate. And I mean that was my like one of the best hockey experience what I could go through. So they're amazing.
Awesome. Well, what are some things that you guys will be missing from Slovakian at home? Like, is it a type of food or a type of, you know, luxury that you don't have here in the bubble? What is one thing that you wish you could bring here in the bubble with you?
I'd say just maybe walk around the town, you know. You're gonna miss that for sure. But I mean, we both go on.
Yeah, same with me. You know, like you have a little bit more, you know, like kind of freedom. You know, just go outside and just do whatever. But you know, this is how it is. So we gotta.
I mean, we got used to it by now. So I would say, but the food is great so far. The last 2 days we spent here, so taking good care of us. But I don't think there's much we can miss. I mean, we go to the ring, we enjoy playing. We want to bring energy at the rink and not outside the rink.
And what's the team looking like this year? So, you know, do you have any new players that we should keep an eye on, or how's the training been coming up towards the tournament this year?
Yeah, I mean, like you could see that we have pretty much young team. Like I think the youngest team in Slovak history ever. So, I mean, you know, we are young, fast, hungry after hockey. So you're gonna probably see from us, you know, playing aggressive, skating a lot, and you know, just the hockey, how it looks like now. You know, it's getting faster and faster. You know, more aggressive, more straight lines. You know, so it's what you're probably gonna expect from our team.
Nice. Anything to add?
Look out for this guy.
Look out for this guy. Got it. Awesome.
And I would say like we have like the three young players, Nemec, Slavkovsky, and Kňažko. You know, so I mean they're really young, so there's gonna be a lot of eyes on them too. So I hope they're gonna enjoy it and they will be good.
Awesome. Well, we'll be looking forward to watching both of you out there this tournament, and hopefully we'll be able to connect further down the tournament and see how the experience has been with both of you. So we wish you the best of luck and have a good time in the bubble and try not to go too crazy while you're locked in your rooms.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Okay, so as we saw, even professional hockey players can have issues with the digital world, but kudos to them for hanging on strong and making it through that interview. And it was great to chat with players from Finland, the Czech Republic, and Slovakia before today's start of the tournament. And you can catch most of them in action today with 4 games about to kick off. So we have Russia versus the Czech Republic, Germany versus Italy, Belarus versus Slovakia, and Canada versus the hometown heroes, Latvia. So be sure to follow all of our social media accounts to make sure you don't miss any of the action. The games will actually be streamed in 160 countries worldwide, so check out IIHF.com for all your local information on how to tune in. And finally, our podcast, The Totally Ice Hockey Show, is back again this year. So it'll be posted after the games of the day, and it's available on all streaming platforms for podcasts. So tune in and get your daily podcast fix from us. And that's it for today's first live episode of the Pregame Skate. We'll be back nice and early tomorrow, streaming live at 11 a.m. local time. So whether that's your nighttime or your morning, we're excited to see you tomorrow. And we have a special surprise treat. We'll be sitting down with fan favorite Ben Bounds from Great Britain, and I'm sure you've seen his stuff on social media. He's amazing. So please tune in. You don't want to miss it. And thanks again for coming today. I'm IIHF, and we'll see you tomorrow on the Pregame Skate.